The Consulting Vanguard, How AI Agents Are Transforming Professional Services Abstract. The professional services industry stands at a pivotal inflection point as artificial intelligence, AI, agent technologies rapidly mature. This article examines the emerging ecosystem of AI-enabled consulting, analyzing recent investment and partnership activity among leading firms, drawing on industry data and organizational examples. It identifies four strategic imperatives driving the transformation: stack ownership, data differentiation, agent embedding, and workforce transformation. The analysis reveals that traditional consulting business models face significant disruption as firms shift from advisory services to scalable AI-enabled solutions. Organizations that successfully integrate AI agents into their service delivery model while developing new capabilities around agent orchestration and deployment will likely emerge as industry leaders, while those maintaining traditional approaches risk relevance in an increasingly automated advisory landscape. Professional services firms have historically sold expertise by the hour, delivered through skilled consultants who analyze data, develop insights, and recommend solutions. This fundamental business model has remained largely unchanged for decades, even as digital technologies transformed client operations. The recent acceleration of AI technologies, particularly large language models, LLMs, and the AI agents built upon them, now threatens this established paradigm more profoundly than any previous innovation. The stakes are immense. As CB Insights data reveals, leading consulting firms have executed more than 100 AI-related partnerships, acquisitions, and investments since 2023 alone, CB Insights. 2023. This flurry of activity reflects both defensive positioning and offensive strategy as firms grapple with a fundamental question: what happens to the consulting business model when clients can access AI-powered expertise directly, without human intermediaries? This article examines how AI agents are reshaping professional services, the strategic responses of industry leaders, and what these changes mean for the future of consulting work. The transformation is occurring faster than most observers anticipated, with implications that extend far beyond cost structures to the core value proposition of professional services. The AI agent consulting landscape, defining AI agents in professional services. In the professional services context, AI agents are autonomous or semi-autonomous software systems that can perform tasks traditionally handled by human consultants. Unlike static analytics tools, these agents can interact with users, access multiple knowledge sources, reason through complex problems, and execute tasks with minimal supervision. The most advanced agents can orchestrate workflows across organizational boundaries, learn from experience, and operate continuously at scale. AI agents in consulting typically fall into three categories: internal efficiency agents, tools that augment consultant productivity by automating routine tasks like data gathering, analysis, and document creation; client-facing delivery agents, interactive systems that deliver advice, insights, or recommendations directly to clients; hybrid augmentation systems, platforms that enhance human consultants' capabilities while maintaining the client relationship. The distinction between these categories is increasingly blurring as technologies mature. McKinsey's implementation of over 12,000 internal AI agents represents a significant step toward systematizing previously tacit consultant knowledge, Chua et al. 2023. Similarly, Accenture's Reinvention Services unit signals a strategic pivot toward embedding AI agents directly into client operations rather than merely advising on their implementation, Accenture. 2023. Prevalence, drivers, and distribution. The market for private AI agent solutions has exploded, generating over $10 billion in revenue in 2024, a figure expected to double in 2025, Gartner. 2023. This growth is driven by three converging factors. First, Breakthroughs in foundation models have dramatically lowered the technical barriers to creating sophisticated AI agents. Models like GPT-4, Claude, and Gemini can now perform reasonably well across domains that previously required specialized systems. Second, enterprise clients face unprecedented pressure to improve productivity amid talent shortages and economic uncertainty. AI agents offer a compelling solution by promising to automate routine knowledge work while scaling institutional expertise. Third, the consulting industry itself faces margin pressure and talent challenges that make AI agent adoption an economic imperative. By 2025, up to 30% of entry-level consulting tasks could be automated through AI agents, forcing a fundamental reimagining of service delivery models. Davenport and Renanke. 2022. The CB Insights Network visualization reveals distinct strategic approaches among leading firms. Accenture has pursued the most expansive ecosystem, with partnerships spanning from established enterprise players, Microsoft, Salesforce, to emerging AI specialists, Anthropic, Cohere. Deloitte has focused more narrowly on integration with enterprise platforms that clients already use, ServiceNow, UiPath. KPMG appears to be emphasizing workflow automation investments, while EY and PwC show more selective partnership approaches. Organizational and individual consequences of AI agent adoption. Organizational performance impacts for consulting firms. AI agent technologies promise both efficiency gains and business model disruption. Early adopters report significant productivity improvements, with partners at McKinsey citing 30 to 40% reductions in time spent on analytical tasks when using internal AI agents effectively. Chue et al. 2023. BCG's Gamma unit has documented 20 to 25% improvements in project delivery timelines through AI augmentation of consultant workflows. BCG. 2023. However, these efficiency gains present a double-edged sword. If firms pass productivity improvements to clients through lower fees or reduced staffing, they risk revenue cannibalization. If they don't, they become vulnerable to competitors who will. This dilemma is particularly acute for strategy firms whose high margins depend on the perception of irreplaceable human expertise. Beyond efficiency, AI agents enable new business models centered on continuous client engagement rather than discrete projects. Accenture's acquisition of Optimizer illustrates this shift toward always-on advisory relationships powered by persistent AI agents that monitor client operations and proactively identify improvement opportunities. Accenture. 2024. Individual well-being and stakeholder impacts for individual consultants. AI agent adoption brings significant role disruption. Junior consultants, whose careers traditionally begin with data analysis and presentation creation, face the greatest displacement risk as these tasks become increasingly automated. Several firms have already reduced entry-level hiring as AI tools improve, with one major strategy firm decreasing campus recruitment by 15% in 2024 compared to pre-pandemic levels. However, AI agents also promise to alleviate the punishing workloads that have long characterized consulting careers. Partners at Deloitte report that consultants using AI assistants effectively can reduce working hours by 10 to 15 hours weekly while maintaining or improving output quality. Deloitte. 2023. This potential work-life improvement could help address the industry's persistent retention challenges. For clients, AI agent-enabled consulting promises more consistent quality, faster delivery, and potentially lower costs. However, it also raises concerns about reduced customization and the black box nature of AI-generated recommendations in regulated industries like financial services and healthcare. Questions about the explainability and accountability of AI agent-derived advice remain significant barriers to adoption. Evidence-based organizational responses orchestrating the fragmented AI agent stack. The AI agent technology landscape remains highly fragmented, with hundreds of specialized tools addressing different components of the stack. Leading consulting firms are positioning themselves as integrators who can orchestrate these components into coherent solutions. Evidence suggests that comprehensive stack ownership correlates with competitive advantage. Firms that can integrate foundation models, retrieval systems, agent frameworks, and deployment infrastructure deliver more coherent client solutions than those relying on piecemeal approaches. Davenport and Ronanke. 2022. Effective approaches include developing proprietary middleware that connects best-of-breed AI components, building specialized agents for industry-specific use cases, creating evaluation frameworks to assess agent performance objectively, establishing agent governance systems that ensure reliability and compliance. Accenture has invested heavily in this orchestration capability, partnering with both established providers like Microsoft and emerging specialists like Anthropic. The firm developed a proprietary AI Navigator platform that helps clients evaluate, integrate, and deploy AI agents across their operations. For a global pharmaceutical company, Accenture used this platform to orchestrate 5 distinct AI agent systems that collectively automated 40% of the regulatory submission process, reducing submission time by 60 days. Accenture, 2023. Unlocking proprietary data as a differentiator. As foundation models become increasingly commoditized, proprietary data emerges as a key competitive differentiator for consulting firms. Organizations with rich, structured datasets can train more effective specialized agents that outperform generic models. McKinsey's acquisition of Quantum Black and subsequent investments in data infrastructure demonstrate this strategy in action. By systematically capturing project data across thousands of engagements, the firm has built domain-specific datasets that power increasingly specialized AI agents. For a global mining client, McKinsey deployed agents trained on industry-specific operational data that identified $380 million in productivity improvements that generic models missed due to lack of contextual understanding. McKinsey. 2023. Effective approaches include systematically capturing and structuring knowledge from client engagements, building proprietary data lakes that combine public and private information, developing specialized annotation capabilities for industry-specific data, creating synthetic data generation systems to address gaps in historical records. KPMG's partnership with Palantir Technologies exemplifies this data-centric approach. By combining KPMG's industry expertise with Palantir's data integration capabilities, the firm created specialized agents for financial risk detection that operate on client data without requiring external training. For a multinational bank, these agents identified compliance risks that saved an estimated $125 million in potential regulatory penalties. KPMG. 2024. Embedding agents at enterprise scale. Leading firms recognize that the greatest value comes not from building isolated agents but from embedding them deeply into client operations. This requires designing agents that integrate with existing enterprise systems and workflows. Research indicates that successful agent deployment correlates strongly with integration into platforms that employees already use daily. Agents embedded in familiar interfaces achieve 3-4x higher adoption rates than standalone solutions. Davenport et al. 2023. Effective approaches include designing agents that integrate with major enterprise platforms, building agent capabilities into existing client workflows rather than creating separate experiences, creating clear handoffs between human and AI. Agent responsibilities, developing governance frameworks that manage agent permissions appropriately. Deloitte's partnership with ServiceNow illustrates this embedding strategy. By building specialized consulting agents that operate within the ServiceNow platform, Deloitte has helped clients automate complex IT service management processes without requiring users to learn new interfaces. For a healthcare system with 40,000 employees, this approach increased IT ticket resolution rates by 45% while reducing resolution time by 60%. Largely because the agents operated within familiar systems rather than requiring adoption of new tools. Deloitte. 2023. Building the human AI workforce. The most forward-thinking consulting firms are fundamentally reimagining their workforce models around human AI collaboration rather than treating them as separate domains. Evidence suggests that human AI teams can outperform either humans or AI working independently by 25 to 40% on complex knowledge tasks when roles are properly designed. Chue et al. 2023. This requires systematically redefining consultant roles to emphasize the uniquely human capabilities that complement AI strengths. Effective approaches include developing clear frameworks for task allocation between humans and AI, creating new roles focused on prompt engineering and agent orchestration, retraining consultants to become effective AI collaborators, establishing metrics that evaluate team performance rather than individual output. PwC's investment in AI upskilling demonstrates this workforce transformation strategy. The firm committed $1 billion to train all 65,000 U.S. employees in AI collaboration skills, creating specialized career paths for AI orchestrators who design and manage agent systems. For a retail client implementing an inventory management system, a hybrid team of PwC consultants and specialized AI agents delivered a solution 40% faster than traditional approaches by clearly delineating which aspects required human judgment versus AI processing. PwC. 2023. Building long-term AI consulting capabilities from services to systems. The most significant long-term shift for consulting firms involves transitioning from selling services, billable hours of human expertise, to systems, scalable AI capabilities that operate continuously. This requires fundamentally different business models, pricing structures, and delivery mechanisms. Leading firms are experimenting with subscription-based pricing for AI agent capabilities rather than traditional time and materials billing. Evidence suggests that clients prefer this model for AI-enabled services, with 68% of Fortune 1000 executives indicating they would rather pay for outcomes or access than consultant time. Forrester Research. 2023. Building this capability requires developing product management disciplines traditionally absent in consulting, creating scalable infrastructure to support always-on AI services, establishing new commercial models based on usage or outcomes, rethinking firm economics around recurring revenue rather than project margins. BCG's launch of BCG represents this strategic pivot. The unit combines consulting expertise with product development capabilities to create AI-powered solutions that clients can subscribe to rather than traditional consulting engagements. For a consumer packaged goods company, BCG built a pricing optimization system powered by specialized agents that operates continuously rather than delivering a one-time recommendation, generating $140 million in additional annual revenue. BCG. 2023. Developing ethical AI governance as consulting firms deploy AI agents that make or influence significant business decisions. Establishing robust governance frameworks becomes critical to managing risk and maintaining trust. Research indicates that organizations with formal AI governance processes experience 35% fewer incidents of AI system failure or unintended consequences than those without such frameworks. Accenture. 2023. Leading firms are developing specialized capabilities to help clients establish these governance systems. Building this capability requires creating agent monitoring systems that detect performance degradation, developing explainability tools that make agent reasoning transparent, establishing clear responsibility structures for agent oversight, implementing testing protocols for identifying bias or unintended consequences. EY's establishment of a dedicated AI ethics advisory board exemplifies this governance focus. The board develops policies for both internal AI use and client engagements, requiring that all agent deployments undergo formal ethical review. For a public sector client implementing benefits determination agents, EY's governance framework identified and mitigated potential bias issues that could have disproportionately impacted vulnerable populations. Avoiding significant legal and reputational risks, EY. 2023. Cultivating agent-human symbiosis rather than viewing AI as either subordinate to or independent from human consultants. Leading firms are developing models of genuine symbiosis where each enhances the other's capabilities. Evidence suggests that the most effective organizational designs explicitly identify which cognitive tasks are best handled by humans, which by AI, and which through collaboration. Davenport et al. 2023. This requires moving beyond simplistic automation narratives to more sophisticated models of cognitive partnership. Building this capability requires designing agent interfaces that maximize productive human-AI interaction, developing training that helps consultants recognize when to delegate to agents, creating feedback mechanisms that improve both human and AI performance, establishing cultural norms that treat AI as team members rather than tools. McKinsey's development of Centaur teams illustrates this symbiotic approach. These teams pair consultants with specialized agents designed to complement human cognitive strengths. The firm reports that Centaur teams demonstrate 30% higher problem-solving effectiveness on complex client challenges compared to traditional teams, primarily because the human-AI interaction surfaces insights neither would identify independently. McKinsey. 2023. Conclusion: the consulting industry stands at a historic inflection point as AI agent technologies mature from experimental tools to core delivery mechanisms. The evidence examined in this article suggests several key conclusions. First, AI agents will fundamentally transform the consulting business model, shifting value from hours of human expertise toward scalable AI-enabled systems that operate continuously. Firms that cling to traditional billing and staffing models face significant disruption risk. Second, the competitive landscape is rapidly evolving through strategic partnerships, acquisitions, and investments as firms race to assemble comprehensive AI agent capabilities. Those that orchestrate the fragmented technology stack while unlocking proprietary data as a differentiator will establish sustainable advantages. Third, successful transformation requires more than technology implementation. It demands reimagining consultant roles, developing new commercial models, establishing robust governance, and cultivating genuine human-AI symbiosis. For consulting leaders, the imperative is clear: move beyond treating AI as merely another tool in the consultant toolkit and instead recognize it as a fundamental force reshaping the industry's core value proposition. The future of consulting will not be built by the hour, it will be built by the agent.